Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. As winter melted into spring, Anna found herself falling into a new rhythm. Hormone therapy began to work its subtle magic, softening her features and redistributing her body. Voice training sessions helped her develop a more feminine speaking pattern. Each small change brought her closer to aligning her outer appearance with her inner truth. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were days when dysphoria hit hard, when the gap between her ideal self and her reality seemed insurmountable. On those days, Anna would think of Gianni, of the wisdom he had shared in their brief encounter. She would remind herself of the promise she had made, to live boldly, to embrace her authentic self without shame. One particularly difficult afternoon, feeling overwhelmed by the long road still ahead, Anna found herself wandering into a small art gallery. The walls were lined with portraits, faces of all ages, genders, and ethnicities, each captured with striking honesty and compassion. As she moved through the gallery, Anna felt a sense of calm settle over her. These portraits seemed to celebrate the uniqueness of each subject, finding beauty in their imperfections and individuality. It was a powerful reminder that there was no one right way to be a woman, or to be human, for that matter. Inspired by the exhibit, Anna decided to document her own journey. She began taking daily selfies, creating a visual diary of her transition. Looking back at these images weeks and months later, she was struck by the subtle changes, not just in her physical appearance, but in the confidence that seemed to grow in her eyes with each passing day. As spring turned to summer, Anna's life continued to evolve. She went on her first date as her true self, a nerve-wracking but ultimately enjoyable experience with the kind woman she had met through a dating app. Though it didn't lead to a lasting romance, it was an important milestone, proof that she could be desired and loved as her authentic self. Her relationship with her family remained complicated. Some embraced her transition wholeheartedly, while others struggled to understand. There were heated arguments and tearful conversations, moments of connection and painful silences. But slowly, gradually, bridges began to be rebuilt. Through it all, Anna held on to the memory of that New Year's Eve, of the unexpected friendship that had given her the courage to embrace her truth. She often found herself wondering what Gianni would think of her progress, imagining his kind eyes crinkling with pride. One warm evening in late summer, Anna decided to return to the rooftop bar where she had met Gianni. As she stepped out onto the terrace, memories flooded back. The nervousness she had felt, the gentle encouragement Gianni had offered, the profound connection they had formed in such a short time. She ordered a glass of champagne and made her way to the railing, gazing out at the city skyline. So much had changed since that night, both in the world around her and within herself. Yet the view remained as breathtaking as ever, a reminder of the enduring beauty that existed alongside life's constant changes. As she sipped her drink, Anna overheard a conversation at a nearby table. A young person, their voice trembling with emotion, was coming out to a friend. The friend's response was immediate and supportive, filled with love and acceptance. Anna smiled to herself, feeling a surge of hope for the future. The world was changing, slowly but surely becoming more accepting of diverse identities and experiences. She thought of how far she had come in just a few months and of all the others out there embarking on their own journeys of self-discovery. In that moment, Anna made a decision. She would use her experiences, her struggles and triumphs to help others. Whether through writing, activism, or simply being a visible example of living authentically, she would work to create a world where everyone felt free to be their true selves. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink, Anna raised her glass in a silent toast. To Gianni, whose kindness had set her on this path, to herself for finding the courage to embrace her truth, and to the future, with all its challenges and possibilities. She took a final sip of champagne, savoring the bubbles on her tongue. Then, with a deep breath and a confident smile, Anna turned away from the railing and walked back into the world, ready to face whatever came next, secure in the knowledge that she was, at last, truly herself. The months rolled by, each one bringing new challenges and triumphs as Anna continued her journey. Fall arrived with a burst of color, the city's trees ablaze with reds and golds that seemed to mirror the vibrant changes in her own life. Anna's transition progressed steadily. Regular hormone treatments continued to reshape her body, bringing her physical appearance more in line with her inner sense of self. She underwent laser hair removal, marveling at how such a seemingly small change could have such a profound impact on her confidence. At work, Anna thrived in her role as a graphic designer. Her increased comfort in her own skin translated into greater creativity and productivity. She even took on a pro bono project designing materials for a local LGBTQ+ youth center, finding deep satisfaction in using her skills to support others in the community. Her social life blossomed as well. The support group she had joined became a second family, a place where she could share her fears and celebrate her victories with people who truly understood. Anna formed close friendships with several of the other members, and they often met outside of the group for coffee or shopping trips. One crisp October afternoon, Anna found herself strolling through Central Park with her friend Sophia. The trees were resplendent in their autumn finery, leaves crunching underfoot as they walked. "You know," Sophia said, linking her arm through Anna's, "I'm so proud of how far you've come. You're like a completely different person from when we first met." Anna smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. "I feel like a different person," she admitted. "Or maybe just more myself than I've ever been." They paused by the lake, watching as ducks skimmed across the water's surface. A comfortable silence fell between them, broken only by the distant laughter of children playing. "Can I ask you something?" Anna said finally, turning to face her friend. "Does it ever get, I don't know, normal? This feeling of finally being in the right body, the right life?" Sophia considered the question, her expression thoughtful. "Yes and no," she said after a moment. "There are days when I almost forget I'm trans, when it just feels like I'm living my life like anyone else. But then there are moments when it hits me all over again. The journey I've been on, the obstacles I've overcome. Those moments, they're powerful. They remind me of my strength." Anna nodded, understanding exactly what Sophia meant. She thought of her own moments of realization, catching her reflection in a store window and seeing the woman she'd always known herself to be, hearing her chosen name called out in a crowded coffee shop, and feeling a thrill of recognition. "I've been thinking," Anna said slowly, "about ways to give back, to help others who might be struggling like I was." Sophia's face lit up. "That's wonderful. What did you have in mind?" "Well," Anna began, excitement building in her voice, "I was considering starting a blog, sharing my experiences, offering advice, maybe even turning it into a book someday." "Anna, that's brilliant!" Sophia exclaimed.
"Your story could help so many people. And you have a way with words. I've seen those emails you send to the group. You could really make a difference." Encouraged by her friend's enthusiasm, Anna spent the next few weeks pouring her heart into her new project. She set up a website, carefully crafting posts that detailed her journey, the fears she had overcome, the joys she had discovered, the lessons she had learned along the way. To her surprise and delight, the blog quickly gained a following. Comments poured in from readers around the world, sharing their own stories and thanking Anna for her honesty and insight. She found herself spending hours responding to messages, offering words of encouragement and support to those just beginning their own transitions. As the holiday season approached, Anna felt a bittersweet pang. She thought of Gianni, of their chance encounter the previous New Year's Eve. The loss still hurt, but it was tempered now by gratitude for the profound impact he had made on her life. Inspired by Gianni's memory, Anna decided to honor him by paying forward the kindness he had shown her.
She volunteered at a shelter for LGBTQ+ youth, offering support and mentorship to young people struggling with their identities. On Christmas Eve, Anna found herself at the shelter, helping to prepare a holiday meal for the residents. As she stirred a pot of soup, she overheard two teenagers talking quietly in the corner. "I don't know if I can do this," one of them was saying, their voice choked with tears.
"It's too hard. Nobody understands."
Without hesitation, Anna approached them. "Mind if I join you?" she asked gently. The teenagers looked up, surprise and curiosity mingling on their faces. Anna pulled up a chair, her heart aching for the pain she saw reflected in their eyes. "I know it might not feel like it right now," she said softly, "but I promise you it does get better, and you're stronger than you know." For the next hour, Anna shared her story with the young people. She told them about her struggles, her fears, and the unexpected friendship that had given her the courage to embrace her true self. As she spoke, she saw hope begin to kindle in their eyes. Later that night, as Anna walked home through the snow-dusted streets, she felt a profound sense of peace. The city glowed with holiday lights, and the air was filled with the sound of carols and laughter. She paused at a corner, looking up at the starry sky. "Thank you, Gianni," she whispered, "for everything." As if in response, a gentle gust of wind swirled around her, carrying with it the promise of new beginnings. Anna smiled, squared her shoulders, and continued on her way, ready to embrace whatever the future might hold. The new year dawned bright and cold, a pristine blanket of snow covering the city. Anna woke early, feeling a sense of anticipation thrumming through her veins. It had been exactly 1 year since her fateful encounter with Gianni, 1 year since she had taken her first steps towards living authentically. She dressed carefully, choosing an outfit that made her feel confident and beautiful. A deep green sweater dress that complemented her eyes, paired with black tights and ankle boots. Her hair, now grown long and lustrous, fell in soft waves around her face. As she applied her makeup, Anna studied her reflection in the mirror. The changes were subtle but significant. Softer features, a more feminine distribution of fat, a glow of contentment that seemed to radiate from within. But more than the physical changes, it was the look in her eyes that struck her most. Gone was the fear and uncertainty that had haunted her for so long, replaced by a quiet confidence and sense of peace. Anna had plans to meet friends for brunch, but first she had somewhere important to go. Bundling up against the cold, she made her way to a small, quiet cemetery on the outskirts of the city. It had taken some detective work, but with the help of Sophia and some online resources, Anna had managed to track down Gianni's final resting place. She had visited a few times over the past year, finding comfort in the quiet solitude and the opportunity to talk to her friend. As she approached the simple headstone, Anna felt a lump form in her throat. The cold marble beneath Anna's gloved fingers sent a shiver through her body. She traced the engraved letters of Gianni's name, her heart heavy with a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. "Hello, old friend," she murmured softly. "It's been quite a year." The cemetery was silent, save for the occasional crunch of snow beneath the feet of other visitors. Anna settled herself more comfortably, pulling her coat tighter around her body. "I wish you could see me now," she continued, her voice barely above a whisper. "So much has changed. I'm finally living as my true self, Gianni, and it's all because of you." As she spoke, Anna's mind drifted back over the past year. The triumphs and setbacks, the moments of joy and the days of doubt. She told Gianni about her blog, about the lives she hoped she was touching through her words. She spoke of her family, the slow, sometimes painful process of rebuilding relationships and finding understanding. "My sister's coming around," Anna said, a small smile playing on her lips. "She called me last week, asked if I'd help her pick out an outfit for a job interview. It was nice, normal, like we used to be before." Her voice trailed off as she remembered the years of distance, of hiding her true self from those she loved most. The pain was still there, a dull ache in her chest, but it was tempered now by hope. "Oh, and I met someone," Anna continued, her cheeks flushing slightly despite the cold. "Her name's Maya. She's a painter. You'd like her, Gianni. She has that same twinkle in her eye that you had." Anna paused, gathering her thoughts. She and Maya had been dating for a few months now, taking things slow, both aware of the complexities involved in their relationship. Maya was the first person Anna had dated who had known her as a woman from the start, who had never known her before. It was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. "She makes me feel seen," Anna said softly. "Really seen, you know? Not just as a trans woman, but as me. All of me." A gust of wind swept through the cemetery, rustling the bare branches of nearby trees. Anna shivered, pulling her scarf tighter around her neck. "I'm scared, though," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "What if it doesn't work out? What if I'm not enough? What if—" She broke off, taking a deep breath to steady herself. These fears had been gnawing at her for weeks, threatening to overwhelm the joy she felt in Maya's presence. "I wish you were here," Anna said, her voice cracking slightly.
You always knew just what to say to put things in perspective.
She fell silent, lost in thought. The sun peeked out from behind a cloud, casting a warm glow over the snow-covered ground. Anna closed her eyes, letting the weak winter sunlight wash over her face. In that moment of stillness, she could almost hear Gianni's voice, kind, wise, gently teasing. "Living boldly doesn't mean living without fear, my dear," she imagined him saying. "It means embracing the fear and moving forward anyway." Anna's eyes snapped open, a smile spreading across her face. "You're right," she said aloud. "Of course you're right." She stood, brushing snow from her coat. "I should go," she said. "I'm meeting friends for brunch,
but I'll be back soon, I promise."
As she turned to leave, Anna paused, her hand resting on top of the headstone. "Thank you, Gianni," she whispered, "for everything." The walk back to the city center was brisk, the cold air nipping at Anna's cheeks and turning them a rosy pink. Her mind buzzed with thoughts of the year ahead, challenges to face, goals to achieve, a life to continue building. As she approached the trendy cafe where she was meeting her friends, Anna caught sight of her reflection in a store window. The woman looking back at her stood tall and confident, a far cry from the nervous, hesitant person she had been a year ago. "Anna!" a voice called out. She turned to see Sophia waving from the cafe's entrance, a wide smile on her face. Taking a deep breath, Anna squared her shoulders and walked towards her friend. Whatever the future held, she knew she was ready to face it, boldly, authentically, and surrounded by love. As she stepped into the warm, fragrant interior of the cafe, Anna was enveloped in a chorus of greetings and hugs. Her friends, a mix of people from her support group, work colleagues, and new acquaintances, had gathered to celebrate the new year and Anna's journey.
"There she is!"
exclaimed Carlos, a fellow graphic designer from work. He pulled Anna into a tight hug.
"We were starting to think you'd gotten lost in the snow."
Anna laughed, shrugging off her coat. "Sorry, I had a quick errand to run. Did I miss anything exciting?" "Only Sophia's dramatic retelling of her New Year's Eve kiss with that mysterious stranger," teased Jenna, a petite woman with vibrant blue hair. Sophia rolled her eyes good-naturedly. "It wasn't that dramatic," she protested. "And he wasn't mysterious, just intriguingly aloof." The group settled around a large table, the air filled with the clinking of coffee cups and the warm aroma of freshly baked pastries. Anna found herself seated between Sophia and a new addition to their circle, a young trans man named Elijah, who had recently started attending their support group meetings. As conversations flowed around her, Anna noticed Elijah fidgeting nervously with his napkin. She leaned in, keeping her voice low. "First time out with the group?" Elijah nodded, his eyes darting around the table.
"Yeah," he admitted. "I'm still not... I don't really pass yet, and I worry..."
Anna felt a surge of empathy, remembering her own early days of transition. "Hey," she said gently, "you belong here. We've all been where you are, and we've got your back." Elijah's shoulders relaxed slightly, a small smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "Thanks," he murmured. "It means a lot to hear that." As the brunch progressed, Anna found herself drawn into various conversations, discussing upcoming projects with her work colleagues, sharing transition tips with newer members of the support group, and laughing at Sophia's outrageous stories. But her mind kept drifting back to her conversation with Elijah. She remembered how isolating those early days had felt, how every public outing had seemed fraught with potential danger or humiliation. An idea began to form in Anna's mind. She pulled out her phone, jotting down notes between bites of her omelet. By the time the plates were being cleared away, she had the outline of a plan. "Hey, everyone," Anna said, raising her voice slightly to be heard over the chatter. "I have a proposal." The table fell quiet, all eyes turning towards her. Anna felt a momentary flutter of nerves, but pushed through it. "I've been thinking about ways we can support each other better, especially those just starting their transitions," she began. "What if we organized regular outings? Nothing fancy, maybe coffee dates, shopping trips, that sort of thing. Just a chance for people to practice being out in public in a safe, supported way." There was a moment of silence, then the table erupted in enthusiastic agreement. Ideas began flying, suggestions for LGBTQ-friendly venues, offers to help organize events, discussions about how to ensure everyone's safety and comfort. As the excitement built, Anna caught Elijah's eye. The young man's face was lit up with a mix of hope and gratitude. She gave him a reassuring smile, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. This, Anna realized, was what Gianni had meant about living boldly. It wasn't just about her own journey, but about creating spaces for others to find their courage as well. As the group began to disperse, making plans to meet again soon, Anna felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to find Maya standing behind her, a bouquet of colorful tulips in her hand. "Surprise," Maya said, her dark eyes twinkling. "I thought I'd swing by and walk you home." Anna's heart skipped a beat. She leaned in, hugging Maya. "That sounds perfect," she murmured. As they stepped out into the crisp winter air, Anna's hand found Maya's, their fingers intertwining naturally. They walked in comfortable silence for a few blocks, the sounds of the city a gentle backdrop to their togetherness. "So," Maya said eventually, "how was your morning? Did you visit him?" Anna nodded, feeling a rush of affection for this woman who understood the importance of her connection to Gianni. "I did," she replied. "It was good. Bittersweet, but good." Maya squeezed her hand gently. "I'm glad," she said softly. "You know, sometimes I wish I could have met him, to thank him for setting you on this path that led you to me." Anna felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. She blinked them away, turning to face Maya. "He would have loved you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. Maya smiled, reaching up to tuck a strand of hair behind Anna's ear. "Well," she said, "I think he'd be pretty proud of you right now. I know I am." As they continued their walk home, Anna felt a sense of peace settle over her. The year ahead was full of uncertainties, challenges to face, goals to achieve, a relationship to nurture. But for the first time in her life, she felt truly equipped to handle whatever came her way. She thought of Gianni, of the wisdom he had shared in their brief encounter. She thought of her friends, of the community she had found, and the one she was helping to build. She thought of Maya, of the love and acceptance she had found in her arms. And as the winter sun broke through the clouds, bathing the city in golden light, Anna smiled. She was ready for whatever the future might hold, secure in the knowledge that she was, at last, living her truth. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.